Hello everyone, we meet again. Okay, right now I want to talk about some academic stuff that you really need to know since you joined in the English Education Department. However, before discussing about the academic stuff, I wonder what you want to become in the future. Unfortunately, since this is a pre-recorded video, I cannot ask some of you directly. However, let's just think a bit about this. How many of you are interested to become a teacher and teach in front of the class? For those of you who are interested in becoming a teacher, okay, that's really great. Indonesia really needs good teachers now. However, if you have other dreams, don't worry. Although this is an education department, things that you learn in our department will prepare you to be ready to work in many different fields in the future. So there are some careers that you can pursue in the future if you graduate from our department. You can become translator, you can become content creator or copywriter, BIPA instructor, and also you can become, what else, secretary, or maybe working in the marketing department, or working in the embassy, or in tourism. So there are so many different fields you can enter after you graduate from our department. So actually, the main question is not whether you want to become an English teacher or not, but how you will be able to achieve your dream. The journey to achieve your goals actually starts here, in the university. How you spend your time in the university will boost your potential, which is very important if you want to excel after graduating. So everything starts here and now. Let's begin with what you will have to do in order to make the most of your university experience. Okay, now let's think about this. What are the differences between high school and university? Have you ever thought about this? I'll give you some time to think about it. What are they? Okay, I'll tell you the answers from the students from the previous years. So in the university, definitely, there is no uniform. Yay! And then the classes are more flexible. It's no longer 7 to 12 or 7 to 2 o'clock. Okay, that's great, right? And then no more homeroom teacher or school counselor. And another thing, maybe you say, oh, more free time for me. Isn't that great? Okay, now, how do you feel about these differences? Some of you maybe feel excited about these differences because you think that you will have more free time. Or it means that less people tell you to do things that you are not happy about or force you to do things that you don't want to do. But some of you maybe feel anxious because it means that you are more independent. You have more freedom to make your own choices. Now, whatever you feel about this, positive or negative, remember, with more freedom comes more responsibilities. And being responsible in your choices is really important because your choices can bring you closer to your dreams or lead you astray. So during your university life, never forget what your goals are and choose the ways that bring you closer to those goals. But first of all, you need to know how to choose wisely. I'll give you some tips. Now it's time for the academic stuff. I'll start with the lectures. So, what will you get from your lecturer in the first meeting of every course? you'll get a syllabus or lesson plan or RPS. So people call it in different ways. Anyway, they're the same thing. Is it important? A syllabus? Very, very important. Why? So let's see, what information can you get from a syllabus or maybe an RPS? So the information that you will get from a syllabus is, first, how to contact the lecturer. And this is really important because sometimes maybe you cannot join the class, or because of something you cannot submit your homework on time. Then you really need to be able to contact your lecturers earlier, ahead of time. Another thing that you will get is the rules, things that you have to do in the class, the guidelines, what you can do, what you cannot do. And then you also will get the grading weight, or the things that accumulate to your final score. And this is actually important because then you can evaluate, you can count how many scores you need in order to get an A, for instance. And then another thing is the material to learn in every meeting. Another thing about the lecture that you need to know is the general rules. So there are several points here. The first one is to attend the lecture at least 75% of all classes. Now, because this semester you will have online classes, it means that you don't really meet with your teachers in the classroom, face-to-face meeting. However, your lecturers maybe ask you to join in the Zoom meeting like this. Or they also tell you to do some homeworks. So no online meeting, but you have to do assignments. So in here, in this semester, active participation means if you are asked to do some assignments, you do it. You submit your assignments, give them to your lecturers. Or if your lecturers have an online meeting, you join the meeting. You participate actively in the meeting. Yeah. So the 75% will be counted. If you don't participate actively in the meeting, it means you will be counted as absent. If you are given tasks and then you don't do your tasks, it means you are also not, you don't attend the meeting. Yeah. So yes, sometimes things happen. Maybe you get ill, or there is something happen. Then in that case, you are obliged to submit some documents to support your explanation. If you are ill, if you are sick, then you have to submit the doctor's note directly to me, the head of the English department. Yeah. And not only the doctor's notes, but also documents needed to support as an evidence that you are sick. Okay. Another thing is you really need to be punctual. Rule of thumb, in the face-to-face meeting, grace period is 15 minutes. But in the online meeting, then you really need to talk to your lecturers about the grace period. But please don't be late when attending the online course, because maybe your lecturers give you something important during the online meeting. So please just attend the Zoom meeting or the Teams meeting on time. And then another thing is that you need to dress appropriately. Yeah, when you are attending the online course, yes, please don't use pajamas, or don't use what else, duster, for instance. So dress appropriately during the online course. And in the future, when we are already able to have the face-to-face meeting, please remember you can't use sandals and shorts to campus. Yeah. So dress appropriately, basically. Another thing you need to know in the lecture is what we call as SKS, or Satuan Credit Semester. What is it? That's actually how we measure the way and the duration of one course. So you will notice that some course, the way is 2 SKS or 2 credits. Another course could be 4 SKS or 4 credits. So what does it mean by this SKS? SKS means the activity that you have to spend for this course. 1 SKS means 15 minutes of activity in the classroom, 60 minutes of structured assignment or tasks which are given by the lecturers regularly, and another 60 minutes of assignments which are not more flexible, but you do it maybe in a long time for a certain duration, or it's something that it doesn't have to be submitted right away, but you really have to do it. Otherwise, you will have a hard time to perform in the class. So non-structured assignments could be something like reading materials or doing some discussions with the group. So you don't really have to submit the result, but you still have to do it. So remember, if the weight of the course is 2 SKS, it means you have to do 340 minutes of activities in 1 week. And then if it is 4 SKS, then you have to times everything by 4. Yeah. So in the first semester, in 1 semester, usually you need to take 20 credits until 24 credits. It cannot be more than 24 credits because you won't have time to do everything. Yeah. And in the first and the second semester, you will only be able to take 20 SKS. So make sure you don't take more courses than assigned in the curriculum. Another important thing about the lecture is something about the test. So generally there are 2 tests in 1 semester: the midterm test, which is in the middle of the semester, and then the final test, which is at the end of the semester. So there are many different types of tests. It could be what we call as the paper and pen test, which means you are given a certain time to finish your test, usually 2 hours, and you do it on the spot. Yeah. And then, but tests could also be in different forms, such as assignments, such as projects, or maybe you will have to do an essay. So when we talk about project, it could be something like making a lesson plan or making a teaching material, yeah, or doing some research. So maybe you ask questions to people, do some survey, and then you make a research report. Okay, so those are the possibility of the form of the test. Now, so these rules that I put on the slide are rules which are applied when we do the test in the face-to-face meeting. So it's no longer the online test. So however, for the first point, the no makeup test, that one is also applicable for the online test. In particular, if the test is a paper and pen test. So you cannot have a makeup test except in a very special case. It means that you must be able to provide documentations to support your reasons for not joining the test. The rest of the points are for a situation, for a face-to-face test. It means you come to the classroom to do a paper and pen test. So you need to be punctual. You cannot come later than 30 minutes. You must dress appropriately. Again, no sandals or shorts, and yeah, many other rules. You can read what is considered as dressing appropriately yourself. You need to silence your mobile phones and put your mobile phone in your bag. And then you really need to bring your own tools, writing tools. No borrowing during the test. And then you must submit the answer sheets to the PIC, to the person in charge, immediately when the time is up. Oh yeah, the last point is also applicable for the online test. So you must submit your answer sheet to the prodi if the time is up. Another thing which is important in the lecture is the grading part. So grading consisting of the result of the midterm test, the final test, and also the assignments. So you can check the way of each points in your syllabus. Okay, so that's why your syllabus is really, really important. And then how about the points of active participation? So about the points of active participation, you really need to check with the lecturer first whether he or she takes this point into account. But again, the grading system depends on the lecturers. You can always see that in the syllabus, and if there is something that you are not sure of or you want to make sure about, then ask the lecturer. And then it's really important that you understand the grading way. Another thing in the lesson plan or the syllabus, as I told you, is the materials that will be discussed in a certain meeting. Although the schedule in the lesson plan could be tentative, but most likely it will be like that. And also the lecturer, of course, will inform you if they eventually change the schedule. Anyway, why it's really important for you to know the materials that you will study in the future? Because you will be given the reading materials, and I suggest that you read these reading materials before the meeting, ahead of time. Why it's important? Because by reading the material first, it will help you to understand what the lecturer will explain to you during the meeting. And believe me, while you may feel that reading the materials is a bit difficult in the beginning, you don't understand what you read, but if you already read it and then you hear what the lecturer say afterward, it will help you a lot. And it will be better if after the lecture you read the material again, then you will get more from it. Okay, so those are the things about the lecture. Now, another thing that you need to know is point of active participation. What's that? What is SKP? So SKP is the point that you get if you are being active in the university. So, how to get an SKP? To get an SKP, you need to to be active, as I said. It means maybe joining in the seminars or a workshop, or it could be like you become maybe a presenter in a seminar or a conference, or it could be you are joining in as a committee in the social service program, or as a committee in the event, or maybe you join in the club and performing, or maybe joining in the competition, become the participants of certain competition. So there are so many things that could be accounted as active participation. So for your batch 2020, the minimum point of the active participation in order to be able to graduate is 25 points. That's not big. That's really small, because you will have 7 semesters to gather the SKP points, basically, or 6 semesters at least to gather all of these SKP points. And for instance, if you join in a seminar, you will already get 2 points or 1.5 points. Or if you become the committee member of an organization or an event, then you can get maybe around 2 SKP points. Or if you are the head, if you're the chairperson, maybe you can even get 3 SKP points. So it's not really that difficult to get the SKP points. Of course, the question is why it's important to be active during the university level. Because again, this is the time for you to develop your soft skills, and also to build your network, and also to develop your critical thinking skills. And by being active in the organizations, in different activities, all of this will train your soft skills, and then you will meet with new people, you will be able to communicate better, and you also learn to collaborate with others. So there are so many good points that you can get by being active during your university life. Of course, studying is important. You also need to pay attention to your study, to your academic performance. That's the reason why you join in the university, to learn. However, in order to excel in the future, having a good academic performance is not enough. You also need to build your skills, your personality. And that's the only way you are able to develop yourself, is by going out, meeting with people, do new things. So don't be afraid to join in activities available in the university, or maybe trying to join in the competition, or doing the exchange student program, either locally or internationally. Atma Jaya give you the opportunities to be active, to join in all of those new things. So I hope you will use those opportunities as much as you can. Okay, the last thing that I want to share with you is several other information. So in Atma Jaya, the maximum study year is 6.5 years or 13 semester. But please, don't study that long. This is a bachelor's degree program. You are supposed to finish in 3.5 years, 7 semester, or in 4 years at the most, which means 8 semester. So we really hope that you are able to finish your study on time. Okay? And another thing is about leave of absence. So leave of absence is not allowed for students in the first semester. Okay, those are some points you need to remember while you are studying in this department. You'll survive university if you follow them. However, I do hope you don't just aim to survive university, simply to graduate and get a piece of certificate. Dream big and strive to make it real. Challenge yourself and push yourself to move forward. Don't just stay in your comfort zone. It's the beginning of your new journey. I'll already inform you what you must do in order to be able to graduate. Now it's your time to plan for your life in the university. Whether you'll get the most of it, or it will just another thing you pass by in your life. That depends on you. That's all from me. Thank you.